In The Truman Show, the main character is unknowingly on a reality TV show that tracks his every move. In order to keep him on the island where the filming is taking place, they orchestrated a childhood trauma that left him terrified of water, so he's unwilling to take a boat to leave. He's constantly bombarded with propaganda about the dangers of flying to disincentivize him from taking a flight out. The residents in M. Night Shyamalan's village are confined to this small village surrounded by forests that contain these red monsters known as those we don't speak of. The community has an uneasy alliance with the monsters, where they'll leave them alone, provided that no one enters the forest. The reality of it is, though, the monsters are invented by the founders of the village who decided to leave civilized society and are living in an 18th century cosplay. For this, they keep everyone afraid of the monsters so that they won't leave. In mythology, there were dragons and leviathans and monsters that kept people from exploring. Today, we have the news and war and turmoil. When I first started traveling, I was told if you leave the resorts in Mexico, that's a wrap for you. I've now been here for 6 years and have yet to even step foot on a resort. Before moving to South Korea, I was told that the war with North Korea would pop off at any moment. When you get there and ask the residents about it, no one knows what you're talking about. The other day I saw a video of this kid crying about how life is hard and everything seems to be falling apart. Like, I can kind of get it, but I feel that accepting that things are falling apart is a cope. You live in literally the safest and best time to be alive in history. It may not feel like it, and do you know why? News, media, the messages you're receiving are telling you that it's bad. But how much of the things that we hear are reality, and how much is designed to keep us where we are, to keep the NPCs in their maps so that they don't wander off too far? How much is designed to help us in constructing our own prison to be locked into? I'm not sure what's trustworthy or what's real, because every piece of evidence that filters down to us is tinged with the special interests of the people giving us the information. Everything I was taught as a child, as I research it more as an adult, there's massive pieces of nuance missing. Maybe it's because I'm sure teaching young people the nuances of world events is actually pretty difficult. It's easier to say this was evil, this was good, but at the same time, I think there's some sort of Truman Show stuff going on to keep us from exploring places with an open mind. This leads us to hesitate to heed the call to adventure because there's so many thoughts of what can go wrong. A lot can go wrong, but don't let it disturb you, as you will meet it with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. I want you to go outside today and strike up a conversation with a random stranger. It's what we're missing in society. People scared of one another, scared of what others are thinking, afraid of outcomes. Go up, say hi to someone, be curious about them rather than afraid, and you'll see we're all in this together. Human beings, after all, were made for one another. All of this information to the contrary, that the world is super dangerous, is just an impression, as Epictetus says. Discard your former beliefs on a subject. Be willing to explore. Be willing to risk it all, because in the end, if you don't risk the dangers that you're told to worry about, you'll live your life in one spot, constantly calibrating and finding new ways to keep yourself imprisoned in that one place. Constantly making yourself more afraid of the leviathans and the monsters that are bombarding us at all times. But you'll need to see for yourself if those we do not speak of are really real, and that pursuit on its own is worth risking it all over. No matter what alarm bells are going off in your head, go forward, and you'll be shocked to find out how many alarms turn out to be false once you pull back the curtain.